Well, welcome back to the Hotel Orloff. It's Friday, the something, 2024, August. Um, Welcome back to the Hotel Orloff. Uh, oh, well, we have here this box labeled Audio DVD-Rs was about to be put into the DVD box section, and then I realized it's got the wrong lid on it. It's actually filled with periodicals. So I was going to go through it, see what's in here. Might be a surprise. Let's see. Okay. All right. Okay. There's a Sears Wish Book from 1997. I gotta get this lighting situation better in place. Um, how can I do this better? Um, no. Let's try it on this book here. No, oh boy, is that bright. I put on sunglasses. Well, these are not my sunglasses. These are my regular glasses. My goodness. Wow. Ah. Anyway, Sears Wish Book. That thing. I guess I don't have a lot of real nostalgic feelings about the year 1997. I don't know. Here's the X-Men toys for the cartoon series that they now have a sequel to. I haven't seen any episodes of the sequel. Um, People are talking well about it, and I don't know. Power Rangers, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. Batman the Animated Series. No, actually, that isn't. That's that horrible Batman and Robin movie that almost destroyed that franchise. You're the Spawn toys. Oh, this is pretty cool. They have these replica Marx playsets for sale. One of the Cape Canaveral set. They had a replica of Fort Apache and Davy Crockett at the Alamo. I had no idea that as late as the late 1990s they were doing replicas of those. Uh, yeah, this is pretty much half toys, but remember bananas and pajamas. Meyer Greenblatt says, I want all of those. Yeah. The Some of these reproductions, I think I remember people selling them like they were the original at antique malls. putting prices on them like they were specifically the Cape Canaveral. I saw that at an antique mall, and they didn't have any markings that indicated it was a newly made version of it. Of course, they might not have known. That's you can. I don't know what's in this box. Like I said the first time. Um, Heritage. This must be. Not sure how I came by this Heritage magazine. I think this is a deluxe magazine that's given away to the high rollers that bid at the Heritage auction. You know, people that buy Honus Wagner baseball cards and things like that. I don't know. Or is this just an advertisement? It's almost like some magazine you'd have read on an airplane. Yeah, deluxe. Deluxe stuff. All right, wonderful. What else is in this box? Is is this real? Yeah, or is it? No, it is not real. This is a fake issue of Time. It says 15 cents, May 14th, 1945, but it's a special commemorative issue. And then it's got this here, and that's obviously not really art from that time period. That's made to look like that kind of art. And this is a commemorative magazine promoting Buick. But other than that, it's a pretty good replica of the Time magazine, and all the ad. A lot of the ads in these old news magazines are for liquor. I've always noticed that. This is one of those bicentennial issues that came out in 1976. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. There's there's some interesting books in here actually that need to be somewhere else. Superstar Heroes, obviously from about the time that the Superman movie came out and the Star Trek movie was coming. You can build your own laser pistol. Um, let's see who put this magazine out. I didn't do a stream last night. Um, Ideal Publishing. Boy, Mork and Mindy t-shirts. My wife is in an extreme amount of pain. She's asleep right now, so I came in here. I thought maybe I could try to raise some money or to get some prayers. I've got a GoFundMe. I've had it for several weeks. Some really great people, 10 people have donated. One person donated $500, and I really appreciate that. And God bless you. We need to raise some money. She is in unbelievable pain. She there's this medication that she gets, Curamed, but it's really expensive, man. It costs like $150, And so she found something for 80, and she ordered it from Amazon, and then she took one of these. It's, oh, I don't know what it is. It's superior absorption curcumin, up to 500 times stronger than turmeric. Anyway, this turned out to be a bootleg product. So she was able to contact Amazon and get a refund for this, because she took a pill out in the dark, the first pill, and then she noticed it's the wrong shape. It was a different shape than what when she's gotten this in the past, and this really works for her. Um, and then so she noticed it was the wrong shape. It looks like the product, but then if you look at the side, there's all these misspellings. Yeah, look, they misspelled rather the word using, produced without suing harmful solvents. They misspelled using. There's several others I noticed. Curcumin is the most powerful component of turmeric, a plant highly prized for centuries due to its amazing health benefits. Pyramid takes curcumin to the next level as the most clinically studied enhanced absorption curcumin in the world. Trying to find the other misspelled words. There were some other misspelled words. I saw them. I am just not seeing them now. So anyway, she looked it up online. Other people were complaining that this was a bootleg product. They mentioned the misspellings, that this is who in the seller, because it wasn't an Amazon. Sometimes you're dealing with stuff coming from the Amazon warehouse, and sometimes you're dealing with individuals. And this person had a no returns, no, kind of thing. They knew they were selling a bootleg product. So anyway, so this is useless. She got the money back, but now she still doesn't have this kind of pain relief. She's taken Advils, and she's probably taken way too many of that. And Meyer says, I have one of those reproduction play sets, the Flintstones. Paulo says hello. Bronco says hello. Gratu, hello, Bronco. Hello, Paulo and Meyer. Um, I don't know about the future short term of this channel, that I can continue doing shows and coming on here and acting all happy. And here's some comics when my wife is in agony. She's and she there's some things that we need to do that she's got she's lost 40 pounds. She's got to lose another 30, I think, before she can have the surgery on the hernias. I mean, and then she's got to there's some other female issues that we've got to deal with, but she can't. we- we just got to get this pain under control. And there's other financial problems that have come because of um, the house repairs, and you think, well, insurance covers it all. No, there's always hiccups and there's problems, and we're gonna. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I mean, I've mentioned this thing I'm doing, this fundraiser, several times before, and I'm usually kind of embarrassed about it. And I just kind of say, hey, my wife's in a lot of pain. Could you guys kind of help? And I say that, and then I kind of go on to something else because it's embarrassing. But we're not doing too good here, man. We're really, if you could help her out, it's, I mean, because oh man, she's in unbelievable pain, and it's 24 hours a day, and she can't sleep at night. And um, I think, if you could help out with this GoFundMe, great. Um, I put a link there. Is it still there? This is it. It's still there in the chat. If if you could help, that would be great. If not, just say a few prayers. I don't know. I don't even know. I can't sleep with her in pain and not being able to sleep. So it's been that's why I didn't do a show last night. I've had a few texts about not doing a show, and it's just that's why. I just but she's asleep now. And Jambo, I'm still working on all your discs and everything. Some people, sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm still working on all your stuff and everything. Um, Bronco says, "Hey, Missing Mars and the rest of the neighborhood." Oh, it's Missing Mars. Yeah, Missing Mars. I just read his. Yeah. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, he's here too. How about that? Yeah, buddy. Okay, fantastic. Um, let's see what else I can find that might entertain you. Oh, there's some cracked magazines in here, and these. Okay. Here's the Savage Sword of Conan, number 22. This was about to be lost and put into a pile of boxes of DVDs, and then I might have discovered this again before, um, or I might have never discovered this again the rest of my life. I've got a New Mutants 98. That doesn't matter to me because that's not my childhood, and but someone may want that. If you're interested in a New Mutants 98, let me know, and maybe I could. This light is not good the way it is. Move over. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, I see. This box has a little bit of everything in it. There's a 1984 Model Railroader. When did they stop publishing Model Railroader? This was a magazine I loved to look through. My older brother was got this all the time. Oh man! All right, it says San Antonio Hobby Shop, but then it says it's in the San Antonio Hobby Shop is in Mountain View, California. Mountain View isn't that where? Uh, is that where you're headed, Meyer? I don't remember. Anyway, I remember a hobby shop in San Antonio that's in the real San Antonio that my brother used to go to. But I was always fascinated with these model train layouts. And, of course, um, no worries, sir. John Gorse just got in. What's up with that bat, or is it bats? I thought it was several bats, but it might have just been one bat just flying around so much, so quickly, darting around. It looked like more. But what happened is Mountain View is a suburb of San Jose. I was I I opened up the door that goes to an upstairs porch, and kept the door open and stood there and told my wife to turn the other lights off. And then the bat flew out the door, and then there was no more bat problems. So I think it was one bat making it seem like he was three or four bats. But because my wife thought that it was more than one bat too. But when the bat stopped downstairs, I think it flew upstairs and then created the illusion that it was multiple bats. And no, the bat was not harmed. Actually, the bat may have been a little bit harmed because right before I started filming that video that was up a few days ago. Um, our cat Alan had that bat down on the ground, and it was like a Ray Harryhausen movie was going after that bat. I don't know. I guess the cat knocked the bat out of the ear and was going at it and everything. So anyway, the cat's fine. The bat might have gotten a few scratches, but it was flying around and anyway flew out the door. Um, but that very same spot, I saw that same cat, Alan, tormenting a mouse a couple of years ago. The cat is um, capable of handling himself. And there was we've had a couple of bad incidents, and then there was a bat in the elevator one day. I wasn't in there, and it came out, and my wife was sitting down, and because she sits down in the elevator because she's been in a lot of pain. I mean, it's just kind of like something I. She's in pain. I've kind of accepted that, but now she's on a new level of pain, and I just don't know what to do, man. This problem with the we there's this if there's a way that you could help out with just a little bit in this fundraiser, because as I put up one a few weeks ago saying, hey, if you could help if my wife's in a lot of pain, and it's like, and some people donated, and but you know it would go over really well with the wife. And there would be a lot more shows on the air if we got some donations. Um, let's see. Well, that was Model Railroader. I got a lot of much older Model Railroaders. This is a magazine called Game Room. I don't know if any of these magazines are still published. Hernias can be dangerous. They didn't fast track her treatment. No, they told her she needed to lose weight before they could do the surgery, and so she's been trying to lose weight. She's lost some. Yeah, I know. So she's got the hernia problems and other problems that just horrific problems. Just trust me that. But you guys could help. These are pictures people have sent in of their game rooms. This issue's from 2008. I used to subscribe to this magazine. I But I've kind of forgotten about it, and I like a lot of things. Um, there's some issues of Mad that I need to get in with my Mads. Um, Usually the ads, when they have fake ads on the back, they're people that work for the magazine or for the EC company. That's Sergio Aragonis there. And this has got a problem, man. Someone spilled some paint there. See that? And it's gone through. I might have more than one copy of this magazine. Um, Man, that paint goes real far through. They've got a Beatles parody, like it's an Air Force movie starring the Beatles. I wonder if I've got another copy of this. Well, Al Jaffe illustrations. See, I wouldn't know. I offhand, I guess I wouldn't know if any of those guys are Don Martin or I don't know, man. Hold on a second. I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen a photograph of Don Martin. Oh man, man, man. Is the sound back? Oh no. Ah, gosh darn. All right, yeah. Let's see here. Is that a different address? Wait a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay. And we're back. Anyway, I'd like to find what the other misspelled words were on here. The using was misspelled. So you got to think, you order stuff from mail order from Amazon. It could be bootleg products. It's oh shoot, where did these magazines come from? What? I've got magazines that I just do not remember ever getting. This is a Savage Sword of Conan with a terrible spine roll. It's in really bad shape. Ugh, I never would have bought this in this condition. I don't know how it exists in my collection. Strange what I'm finding in this box. And there's another Savage Sword of Conan that looks like it's a pulp. Look how brown it is, man. It's there's Wendy Pini, the creator of Elf Quest. Um, this is a good issue, number 29. I think I have a better copy of this. Um, anyway, this is the link if anyone would like to donate. Um, one of my boxes is mad. I really can't account for what. Oh, Inch is here. Do those Savage Swords have Mike Plugart? I'll double check. Um, Scratch that. I'm thinking of Planet of the Apes. Yeah, Planet of the Apes had a lot of Mike Plug. Running story about a teenage human and a teenage chimpanzee that. Uh, okay. This is number 93 from March 65. Let's see if I already have that. This box is kind of full, so I'll pull out some books from the back of it. Um, anyway, 93. Hmm. Well, I do have another copy of it. This one looks like it doesn't have, it looks like the staples aren't attached. This one belonged to Chicken Man Mike Harris. So, March of 65. And and Imsh wanted to see some comic book price guides. Um, I just was gonna go on last night, but my wife was just in too much pain, and I can't do that. Oh well, she was in so much pain she couldn't go to work. Is the deal? And where do all these mats come from, man? There's a lot of them here. Here's the great one with the Kelly Frias cover. Kennedy can't believe how the stupid question he was just asked. It's a little scary the way he's gripping his head there, with what we know obviously, but what happened later. This is October 61. Um, this one feels nice and glossy and clean. It's October 61. I know they should be bagged and boarded, but those days of even thinking about a bag and board anything are pretty much over. Um, these are not good days, man. That's 66. Here's 65. Okay, I've got another copy of it, but this one's got a subscription. Well, is it a subscription full? No, it doesn't go all the way through it. These you can tell have browning around the top. That's from being stored in an attic or a garage in Texas, more than likely. Here's a real early one, number 53 from March of 60. I might have gotten these from Kevin at Gotham City Comics, and I might have taken the bags off of them for some reason. Um, they might have been in the original owner's bags, and I didn't like those bags or something. I don't know why these aren't with everything else. Okay. The number 83, December 63. Well, it's got a fake Newsweek cover on the back. Um, December 63. So this one was probably on the stands when the Kennedy um, event happened. I don't know what you're allowed to say on YouTube. Um, Actually, might have been a January 63 that was on the sale on the stands when that happened. Okay, so this is 83. I like to look at comics and magazines and think about what was happening historically at the same time. Okay, I already have another copy of it, but apparently I got for $3.98 at Doc's Records in Fort Worth. That's a really good record store. And then this is the issue right before it from October 63. This one's in nice shape. Um, oh, someone's trying to come on. Meyer. Hey,
Hey,
Meyer.
hey, how's it going?
Well,
Hello.
things have gone better in my life, but it's not a good day. Cleo's asleep. I think she's still asleep. She's in an unbelievable amount of pain, and things are getting weird with um, the the whole house repair stuff. This one. So I'm trying to raise some money, but when I did a fundraiser for Maranya, I hyped it constantly because I didn't feel weird about it because it was for someone else that we were helping someone. Not to get now that I'm in an unbelievable amount of stress, it's like I feel guilty about. I feel like a creep asking people to help out, and um, probably most of the people watching right now have already helped out. Someone just sent $20, and that's great. This is 81. I believe this issue with the 8 ball has a letter from the Mad Daddy in it. And Mad Daddy was a DJ. There's a whole book out about him. I just noticed. Yeah, there he is. Pete Myers. Oh, man. All right, let me blow myself up here. Pete Myers. This guy here was a DJ that went by the name the Mad Daddy. He was in, I think, Cleveland and New York later. He says, this is when he was in New York. Think along with Mad. As a longtime fan of Mad, I was nuts enough to be the first DJ to play your new Think Along with Mad album. By the way, the record makes a terrific flying saucer. I found that out when our program director ripped it off the turntable, ran to the nearest open window, and skimmed it across Central Park. Some guys just aren't as mad as others. Anyway, Mad Daddy, interesting character. Um, the band The Cramps has a song, The Mad Daddy, about him because Lex Interior, uh, lead singer of the band, grew up as a kid listening to The Mad Daddy in Cleveland when he was in Cleveland. And there are air checks, radio air checks of The Mad Daddy on YouTube. You can hear how insane his show was. It just was, and he played the regular rock and roll and weird novelty stuff, but it was insane, and he always talked in rhyme. And one time he jumped out of an airplane with a parachute while he was on the air. It was live, and so that's why um, in the song uh, Lex Interior sings, "Got a parachute to land on you." Um, anyway, he didn't have a good ending. He wound up steeing himself. Um, because I say that because YouTube doesn't like that word spoken. Um, it's just April, May, June, July. But have you heard of the Mad Daddy, Meyer?
I haven't heard of the Mad Daddy. I have
Yeah, yeah.
not.
Look that
Um,
up. There's a book out. I saw it on Amazon about his life. So
Sorry to hear about Cleo.
yeah. Well, you've known
Feels
she's
bad.
been in pain, but it's
Yeah.
gotten worse. Well, it was bad a couple of weeks ago, and then it gets bad again. Because it's a female issue, and there's just a horror. I mean, I don't want to get into horrible details about it, but it's nothing that's life threatening. But it's like she's going into labor all the like every couple of weeks and is in agony. It's just and and she gets mad at me about mistakes I've made, like you know maybe who we chose to do the work on the house, and how I paid extra to get this house, to secure it, and how I didn't consult with her and I'm leaving her out of things. And that's all, it's just me being an a-hole. And I recognize that it's all true, but it's just like constant. torment, and she's in pain and she's lashing out and she can't take it. She can't sleep all night. Tonight I thought, well, maybe we can go see Deadpool. And she was excited about that, but she's in too much pain to do that. And she couldn't sleep all night. And now we realize we owe extra money and we can't afford to be going to see Deadpool. That was, even though here it only costs like $8, I think, to get into the movie theater. I know back in Texas it was like $18 a person to get in, it seems like. But the prices are still low here. Uh, I hear that Kamala Harris wants to freeze all grocery prices to basically a communism move. And and then apparently, if you say Kamala, because it's supposed to be Kamala, and I can't get used to that because I swear the news media was saying Kamala Harris for years, so I'm used to saying that. But it's supposed to be Kamala, Kamala. You're supposed to put the emphasis on the. I can't remember to do that. And then if you forget, then you're demonized. I've seen people get tongue lashings, and called names on the TV for pronouncing her name wrong, daring to do that to to the Queen. Um, I think she's having a rally today. Maybe right now. There was a picture on Instagram that showed that there was about maybe 20 people. And that's there. And they're saying maybe people are going to start realizing it's all been faked. All these giant crowds. That's just ridiculous. Okay, so that's
There's going to be big crowds for the DNC, but it's going to be a lot of protesters. So I'm looking forward to watching that,
yeah.
seeing how that goes.
I just don't know where these mads came from. I really don't know because I did get some mads from Kevin at Gotham City Comics, but a couple of years ago or year and a half ago, but I wouldn't have been getting duplicates of issues I already had. And it's like a lot of them from this time period. I just, and they're not in the mad box. And I'm completely mystified where these materialized from. It's almost like something
They're
magical.
multiplying. Like they're multiplying in the box while you're not looking.
Yeah. Um, most of these are in pretty nice shape. There's some browning around the edges. Whenever I go check to see if anyone's donated to the fundraiser, then it seems to kick my sound off. So I better not do that. Um, yeah.
Pretty nice shape browning around the edges. It'd be kind of interesting if we graded ourselves, right? You know how the grading details, like we could say that like I have a rolled spine or some
Well,
spine.
it feels very glossy. It
I'm talking
does
about
it.
us as human beings,
Oh,
individual
yeah.
individual
Right.
CDC ratings on our current state at 60 years old, right? Like what would we be? What is it?
Yeah.
What am I? A 4.5? Am I 5.5? What am I right
Right.
now?
Yeah. Really. This is when you could do all the jokes about Kennedy because he was still in office. This is January. Ooh, no, January. Oh, that's the beginning of the year. November '63 was the end of the year. So he still had almost a year to go here before the event. Um, well, 76, 78. Yeah, I already have a 76. '92. Here's '92. He just put a gas station attendant in his tank. Um,
These are great. I don't have any of this stuff. I don't have anything like prior to fourth grade. You know what I mean? I don't.
right. Well, the older stuff in fourth grade, when we got the Mad Specials, they were reprinting.
There were reprints. Yes.
Yeah, but were they reprinting back this far? It seems like
No,
they were reprinting stuff from about 1969, 1970.
Yeah, it seemed like they were like recapping the year before or something in a special. They would do the winter special, the summer special, right?
Yeah, this was a pretty good time period for Mad. There's a parody of the Carpetbaggers. It's a movie I've never seen. Um, apparently, James Coburn must have been the star of that. I can recognize the caricature of him. 92.
I've never seen it. I don't know anything about it other than I always assumed that it was like some sort of a offshoot of Peyton Place, like maybe it was a popularity associated with that
Yeah.
genre. I used to work with a lady in the 1980s that was older, and her son's name was Dax, Dax. And I
Uh-huh.
asked her, I said, "Where did you get that name, Dax?" And she said it's from the Carpetbaggers. I was like, "Oh, really?"
Oh, okay.
And I always had the feeling that it was like a soap opera type movie, but I don't know, like a romance drama. I don't
Yeah,
know
it probably is. So that person must have been born around 63 when that movie was out. Um,
Oh, she was much older. No, she was probably born in the late 40s or early 50s because she I knew her in the 80s and she had a son who was like 10 named Dax. And when I knew
the
her, she was like 40 probably.
the format as it became when we were kids is there was a movie parody at the beginning and a TV parody at the end, and this one doesn't really have either in it. So in January of 64, that formula had not yet been established. Yeah, Matt had kind of became very, you knew what was going to be in it, you knew where everything was going to be in it. Yeah, I have another copy of it. And then, oh, these are in order here. So then I have another copy of this one too. Um, this one's in nice shape too. Oh, this is a really good one because it has an parody of Annie Get Your Gun, but it's Manny Get Your Ghoul. And
Oh,
it's
that's cool.
about making a horror movie. I don't know. I probably should show close ups of all the monster drawings are inside. Um,
That's great.
see, there's Vincent Price. This is one that Kevin would, I think, want. It's the one with the Lincoln cover. It's March 64, number 85. Anyone's looking for it. And that the artist on oh wow. The artist on this is who's the artist, man? Jack Rickard. Man, 85. Yeah, 85. But this one, when I first started buying Mad, the first Mad I bought was a special, and it reprinted the Lawrence of Arabia parody, and that was about 1970. So it looks like the Mad specials were reprinting stuff from about 6 years before. But when
Well,
you're in kindergarten, 6 years before is literally a lifetime. But a parody of Lawrence of Arabia, and I remember there was also a parody of The Fugitive in that Mad special. April 64, number 86. Um, number 87. Anyway, for me to keep doing shows ridiculously, for a ridiculous amount of shows, I'm gonna need to try to get her better, or I'll only be able to do an occasional show. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just telling you I can't just come on and do a show when she's in this amount of pain. But hopefully, with a lot of prayer and hopefully with a few gifts from the viewers, we can get where we need to be. I don't know, but things have happened over the years that just like there was a scare with this crazy doctor I had back in Texas. Was doing the exam, and he thought there was something in or maybe it could be prostate cancer. So he sent me to a doctor that kind to put me through some giant machine that takes with all this sound and anyway, it turned out to be nothing. But the doctor probably was just, but my wife sold something that was really precious to her for me to pay for that procedure, because I guess the insurance didn't cover it or didn't cover it fully. And it was she her she an important member of her family had worked for whatever studio made the King Kong remake in 1976. They had they worked at that studio, and they got this maquette or whatever of King Kong. It was about this tall. It was like bigger than an Oscar, and for the '76 remake, and it was a big monkey, and it had a base, and it was apparently given out to as a special thing to certain people that worked on the King Kong movie. Anyway, he wound up with one of those, and she grew up with that monkey in the house. She sold it to someone on eBay for pretty substantial, just enough money to pay for that procedure, which turned out to be nothing. But that was really something that meant a lot to her when the person and how that person's related to her. It's just so things like that really make me feel, and it's like, well, why didn't you sell one of your collections? Shit. And then, it's just like you feel like a rat fink, and I really have made a lot of mistakes. And so this is the number 89. And I just
Yeah.
hope God forgives me for the mistakes I've made. I've never wanted her to go through this amount of pain. This parody of The Fugitive was reprinted in the first Mad I ever got, the Mad special from 1970, the one that had all the Alfred E. Newman as all the people in history. So yeah, this is a great cover because, and then later they actually had an Alfred E. Newman model kit. Aurora did, but this is a great souvenir of the monster craze of the '60s. September '64. Um, that must have been a thrilling sight for a kid to see on a newsstand, to see this looking at them. Like, or it would have been to me if I'd been alive then. 87, 88. Oh, that's my only copy of that. And then number 90, Fink's Donuts. Oh, and this has got the famous Frank Frazetta portrait of Ringo Starr with a parody of the Breck ad, which always said a beautiful woman. And so,
It's so great. I love how the color scheme is exactly like the Breck ad. It's that beige, that golden thing
yeah,
going.
it's really, you think about it, wacky packages had their beginnings in these mad advertisements.
Yes, 100%.
So they'd already kind of been test driven with the audience of kids. They knew that kids like that. Okay.
Shampoo ads. There was a lot of shampoo ads. You know, earlier you talked about how there were a lot of liquor ads in those news magazines. There were
Yeah,
also cigarette ads and shampoo ads. Those were like the three biggest ads that I can recall. You know what I mean? Those three products were always had a big full page spread, beautifully photographed.
there's an issue of Cracked called Rad. It's a
Huh,
special edition.
I haven't seen this
There's
one.
a bunch of Cracked in here. I just wonder why all those Mads weren't bagged. There's some Alter Ego. Here's a Sword and Sorcery issue. And really, a couple of great issues. Alter Ego is just, there's so many great issues of Alter Ego. Okay, okay, here's more Mads. Damn. This must have been something I bought right before the move, and then they were just thrown into a box, and then I'm discovering them now. Um, but I just have no memory of how I wound up with these. Number 57. I remember this Kelly Frias parody of Campbell's Soup uh, ad was on the back of that Mad special that I got as a kid that I was so excited about. Um, you have Beatnik magazine. Oh, there's some comments. John Gores, I think I read the Harold Robbins novel, The Carpetbaggers. Okay, so you're right. It was a Harold Robbins novel. It's definitely like a soap opera.
Yeah,
Paramount
and
Studios.
Judy, she probably read it or saw the movie when she was a teenager. She was that age. She was
Yeah,
also into shag. You know what shag is? The music style shag. It's kind of a
yeah,
lifestyle. It's this North Carolina, South Carolina coastal living that she it's a whole thing. It's kind of like tiki lifestyle in a way, but it's very
yeah.
southern.
Well, there's a movie that came out in the either the 80s or 90s called Shag the Movie, which is
Yes,
about that.
yes, you're right, and it has
And
a lot of the big song like the Sugar Shack was one of the big shag hits. That there, it's kind of like a bubblegum pop sound to it mixed with a rockabilly, right?
yeah, oh, that's this. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's always been one of my favorite songs, Sugar Shack by Jerry Gilmer and the
Yeah, and
Fireballs.
they have dances that are like the stroll. They have different types of dancing styles. It is all it's a whole thing. It's beautiful. It's really cool.
And it's
I
from
mean,
North
now the people who do
Carolina.
it are like 70 years old. Yeah, North Carolina. The people that are into it now are probably the ancestors of the people that were really into it, and she would probably be about 70 now or older.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that sound in Sugar Shack, I think that was there's this one guitarist that was a member of um, uh, the Wrecking Crew. They were the studio musicians that were on just about everything. I'm trying to remember what that guy's name. There's a whole documentary about the Wrecking Crew, and this one guy, you realize this is the guy. Everything I love, this guy was playing on it. He's playing on Beach Boys records. He's the guy that makes the Munsters theme sound so cool. He's the guy playing on the Bonanza theme. Everything cool is these certain musicians. They're I guess in L.A. that played on everything. Whenever anyone, they're what made the Monkees. Because I mean, the Monkees were actors pretty much that were hired. Um, was it Steve Cropper? Man, I don't know. There's a whole. He has whole records out by himself. I don't think it's Steve Cropper. Didn't Steve Cropper? Wasn't he in the Blues Brothers later?
I don't
Um,
know. I don't recognize the name.
um, I'm thinking it's a different name, but you could be right, Imsh. I don't know. 57. But I'm having to take a bunch of Mads out of this box, so they'll have to go into the next Mad box. So it's just a Big procedure. Okay. Oh, here's the. You know about this issue? You know the story behind this?
No, I don't. Tell it.
Where are the instructions? There are instructions to the news dealer somewhere in here, or maybe it was just common sense. Maybe they sent a note to the news dealers. Um, no, it wasn't. He says yes. Steve Cropper was in the Blues Brothers. No, it wasn't that guy. It was someone else with a different name. Okay, this was. Let's see, what month is this? Okay, okay. This is January '61. So this would have been on sale exactly at the time because they're dated 2 months afterwards, so they stay on the stands. So it would have been on sale in November of 1960, which was when there was an election between Nixon and Kennedy. So they told the newsstand dealers, if Nixon wins, put the issue of Mad out this way. Mad congratulates Richard Nixon upon his election as president. We were with you all the way, Dick. And if Nick Kennedy wins, you put it out this way. We were with you all the way, Jack. And that way Mad would be on the stands the day after the voting and would scoop Time, Newsweek, every Life, every other magazine. Mad would be the first one on the stands congratulating, but it would just be the news dealer would. And that's what the deal was with this one. But the
Yeah.
actual real cover, look at this. The real cover is the Nixon one because it has the price. Well, both have the price, but it has January '61. This one doesn't have all of that
Oh, you're right.
trade dress stuff. So it
Is the
looks so that makes you think that
that they
maybe they were thinking Nixon was going to win, which
maybe
I
back
think.
in November they did. Maybe back in when was the debate?
Well, the debate, I don't know when the debate happened, but there are those that believe that Nixon would have won, but there were some mob people writing names down from tombstones. But I don't want to get into that. But there's always been shenanigans going on. There's always been rumors that there was a little bit of cheating going on. Comic Gold Key Geezer says, I think you're talking about Tommy Tedesco, and you are right. It's Tommy Tedesco. That guy uh, is on everything that we've loved, and he's
Gold
playing
Geezer.
that amazing guitar you hear at the beginning of Sugar Shack. That's Tommy
Dude, that's Gold
Tedesco.
Geezer. I haven't seen him in like 2 years. He used to,
That's
right?
exactly right. I was just thinking that. I remember when he started his channel, and we were all excited about it. And it's like
He's
the
coming
I
back
don't. Have you
for
still
something.
been doing a channel? Because I've been noticing lately that's been pretty slim pickings as far as comic book shows to watch. People that there's not many people doing shows anymore. Um, January '61, number 60. You'll have to look at Gold Key Geezer's channel. I think maybe he started and then maybe just kind of got sick of it, maybe, which I understand. Um, but he's been on a long hiatus. There was a back about 6, 7 years ago. Um, I watch. I can't. I'm not going to brag about this. It's embarrassing, but I watch a show called Big Brother on CBS, and I watched it for years because my mother watched it and I watched it with her, and when she wasn't doing too well. And then the second year Big Brother was on, she passed away during that summer. She was in the hospital, and I watched some episodes with her in the hospital. But she loved that first season. So ever since then, I've kind of been watching it and just kind of like in her honor, right? So and it's there have been years it's been a lot of fun, and some years it's really cringy. And um, but there was about 6 years ago, there was a they had a oh, I've got another copy of it. Um, they had this guy that was a dwarf. I guess you would say he's a dwarf, right? And he was from some Spanish speaking country. So he was trying to say hiatus and he said it yatus. And then it became this running joke on the show. People kept joking about he's saying, "Yeah, we're on a yatus." He sounded like Hervé Villechaize, or however you pronounce his name, from Fantasy Island. But when he said yatu, and when we first adopted Drew, the dog, that was during that time. So for a while, we called when Drew was a puppy, we called her Yatus. We adopted Drew from this woman that came over from Dallas, drove all the way from Dallas, and she had two little boys, and and she needed to get rid of this dog, and it's like, "Do you want to say goodbye?" Then the kid said no. The kid had probably been not treating the dog well, so anyway, the dog's name when we got her was Chloe, and that's too close to Cleo, my wife's name. So we were trying to come up with a new name. For a little bit, we called her Yatus, uh, and then she wound up with this name Drusilla, which is apparently a character on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But I wouldn't know that. Not that I have anything against that show. People tell me it's great. It seems like I saw a few episodes. Oh, more Mads. There's a lot of Mads in here. These are Mad specials at the back. Yeah, I just discovered this box this morning. This was during the election. This is a Kelly Frias painting. You got Nixon, Kennedy. Um, Man, some of these people I just don't know. There's Eisenhower. This guy, I feel like I should know who he is. There's LBJ. And then he did the fake liquor ad on the back too. Crocked. Um, oh, here's a Tarzan parody. Oh, it's a whole Tarzan musical. What? Oh, it's the Mad Comic Opera with art by Wally Wood. No, this is Wally Wood Tarzan art. But it's this realistic film noir looking uh, comic strip versions with Dick Tracy. Oh man, look at Dagwood's been shot. And he's singing as he's bleeding to death. It's like a gangster movie, is what it is. Man, this stuff was great. Um,
Do you ever? So I have like an OCD thing, you know. Do you ever think about like a reading schedule? Do you ever think about like starting somewhere and rereading everything like in some sort of order? Like I mean the entire collection that you know what I'm talking about?
uh, yeah. Um,
I do. Yeah.
is it,
I haven't done it, but oh that's nice. Never stop watching your channel.
yeah. Look at this. Look at Superman getting. You see that there, and they Flash Gordon, and
Like sort of a comic a day type situation or like you know everything. I mean like going over the whole collection like
I've
there's
heard people talk about that. Reading 3 comics a day. Friar
Mhm.
Tuck, is dwarf considered politically correct again? Dwarf is always. Well, did it become little person? For a while, dwarf was okay, but midget was the word. Dwarves didn't want to be called midgets. I don't know. How many issues of Mad do you have total, says Friar Tuck. Zero says, hi, guys. I have no idea how many I have. Three or four magazine boxes of them. I mean, a lot of them, maybe more than that. The ones we're looking at here are all stuff from before I was born or from right about the time I was born. This one's from July 60, number 50. Oh, this is number 56 if you want to get this issue, which, uh, um, anybody? Oh, shit. God damn. 4, 55. Oh, I have another copy of this too. Number 67. Do you have anything cool you want to show that you obtained
No,
lately?
not really. I'm all my stuff's packed and
Yeah.
nothing cool.
Yeah, I just don't know. It seems like this is the closest we've ever come to communism, and it's a little scary if you believe what these people are saying about the polls, which I don't believe, but if they keep saying it enough, they can try to make people believe it. Let's see. Gold Key Geezer Meyer, I'm doing that right now with Bronze Age Batman. I started with Batman 217. Robin goes to college and Bruce closes the Batcave and moves to the penthouse in Gotham. Friar
Excellent.
Tuck, so you got these on the secondary market? Some, anyway. Oh, all of the ones I'm showing you I got on the secondary market. I didn't discover Mad till about 1971. John Gora, speaking of dwarves, I heard the Taxi Adventure remake starring Peter Dinklage is not getting released. Looks terrible, and what's with that casting? Yeah, I didn't know that they had done that. Um, yeah, I see that they refilmed. They had a trailer out or something, a teaser for that new Snow White movie about a year ago, and they were like just a bunch of guys looked like they were at a Renaissance fair. That they weren't dwarf. One of them was little. The rest were just looked like people at a rave party, and it looks like they got such bad uh, talk on the internet about that. They've gone back and computer animated every dwarf, but they look terrible. There's a new trailer that's on YouTube as a couple of days ago that they say it's gotten the worst ratioing or reviews of any trailer in the history of the internet. Okay, 60, what? 73. 73 is out of order. 62. Oh, no, no, no. I'm looking at the year, not the number. Okay. Okay. October 62, number 74. Okay. Number 72. And this one's number 67. 69. Another 69. Okay. This is right after that Kennedy being asked a question at a news conference. Let's see. No matter how you look at it, it's a mad year. The 1969, the first upside down year since 1881. The last upside down year until 2009. Hmm. How about
I
that?
love that color scheme on that cover. Those three colors that you have there. What is it? Red, yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful, and it really places it in 1961. It's just the
Yeah.
whole thing. Yeah,
It's
the design.
confusing because it's number 61, March 61. So you got to be real careful to put it in chronologically. 61. Okay. Man, I hate this damn light. Turn it off. Um, 61. Okay. I already have that. I've got another copy of it. This is number 62 from April of 61. Oh, this is a classic issue. Tomorrow's Parents. And they're, and then the kids are, there's pictures of an aging Elvis and,
What would that be? A prescient or present? It's actually kind of what happened.
yeah,
Except for the most case, the boomers didn't stay cool. Like those people depicted in that picture are still cool, but the boomers like transformed. The media transformed them, and
they're
then their children
horrified by their
rebelled by
kids.
being,
Yeah,
yeah, the kids rebelled by being conservative.
they cast the kids out for being conservative, and then hold on, tripod has gone mad. And then years later, um, how does it work? Oh, years later, those kids that got cast out have kids that run to the arms of their grandparents, and they're trying to recreate the 50s.
Oh yeah, I remember that image. So that was reproduced in one of the super specials because I remember seeing that somewhere. I've seen that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be in. They had special books that would come out. Mad, salutes the 50s or the 60s, and they probably threw that in the 50s one. Because even though it's April of 61, it's really still the 50s. It's really still the 50s until the Kennedy assassination. Um, Friar Tuck says, "When's the big move, Meyer?"
Soon, real soon. Just waiting at this point for paperwork.
Yeah. And you're now looking at houses rather than apartments, or what's the deal?
It's looking that way. It's uh it's looking like it's either going to be like a a nice, a nice house, or like it's going to be like a mansion, or like a tool shed, or probably somewhere right between. So it's going to be between a mansion and a tool shed.
What?
But I can't say anything else. We'll see.
Oh,
When we get there, we'll see.
oh, okay. All right. All right. You don't want people trying to beat you out to um, April number 62. Oh,
And I want to get a dog. I mean, it looks like I'll probably have the possibility of getting a dog of my own. So it's been over 15 years since it's been about 15 years since I had a dog. So I'm looking forward to it.
mhm. That sounds great. It's another copy of the same issue. Yeah, that's great. This one's got a lot of Browning around number 63, June of 61. Another Kelly Frias ad for Budweiser or Budweiser. Sadder but wiser. Here they're visiting John Wayne on the set of The Alamo. So they did a little differently. They would have a parody of the Academy Awards. It wasn't just a parody of a set movie all the time. Here's Beatnik Wheaties. I remember this Don Martin cartoon from reprints. That's the statue they would always sell.
Wow. Have you ever seen one of those?
I knew someone that had one. I've never had one. I have a little Alfred Newman bust, but it's not that one. It's one made later that has color to it. That's not that same sculpt.
Yeah, I wonder if you could find those. That I mean, I guess you can find everything on eBay. That and also, wouldn't it be neat to get a stack of the actual posters that they would sell? You know, that in the front in
Yeah,
that advertisement.
I think I've got that little portrait
Yeah, the little portrait that
somewhere.
like $1. It was like 1 8 cents for one, 80
Right.
cents for 10, yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember that. 60.
For a while, I had this idea of anytime I would see, I did it a couple times. It's but obviously you could do it. But anytime I would see advertisements for toys, especially Silver Age comic books, it would make me want to buy that toy, search it out, find it on eBay, and then have the toy as like a pairing with the original advertisement from the comic book in 1966 or something.
Man, I
And I've
got
done it
so,
with some stuff, but it's kind of fun to do.
yeah. It's a parody of a newspaper. Things were a little more creative during this time period. Um, is this Dave Berg? Look at how this early Dave Berg. This might have been his first one.
Oh wow, it is.
He goes by David Berg, and it's a lot more cartoony and stylized,
Yeah, it looks
mid-century
like a
looking.
greeting cards. Looks like a greeting card or something more.
Yeah, he later went for more realism. Um, that
Yeah, I
could
love
be his.
the lighter side. That would be one of
Yeah,
the first things I would look at when I would get the ad. I would look at the lighter side because I would be looking to see how many, how he drew these different hot girls in there because he would always draw these teenage girls, and I was like 10 and 12 years old. So one of the first things I would first you do the fold in, then you look at the movie parody right at the beginning, and then the Don Martin stuff in between. A lot of people would just go skip right through to and read all the Don Martins, right? Read the two or three that were in there. I
yeah.
I uh, I would go back and forth, but lighter side, I would do the Dave Berg stuff because he drew a lot of girls in short skirts and bikini tops, and he drew them really well. It was a great style. I wish I could draw like that when I was a kid. That was like a neat style.
I think he did some of those Archie style books in the 50s.
Yeah, I think you're right. Um,
Another copy.
I think he did other stuff too. I think he did other comic work as well. That wasn't. I think he did straight work, like adventure or western, or I don't know if he did superhero stuff, but I think he did like other work in the 50s.
I don't know if you can tell the difference in the
Wow.
color. It's not fading. It's just different point in the printing press. Maybe the ink was a little different. 65.
Also in the lighter side, I like the his backgrounds. The design of the entire cartoon is is suburban America in the late 60s, right? And so you've got like patio life, patio living, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have uh, appliances, you have things that and design like interior design. It all stands out. The
Right.
landscaping, it's really cool. It's like watching an episode of Bewitched, right?
Yeah. I had four copies of that issue that was just saw. This is number 77 from March of 63. Um, there's This showed the Defenders. I don't think I've ever seen that. Was that the one that had George C. Scott on it?
I think so. I think it was about attorneys, and I feel like it was kind of like it changed the way that Police Story changed. Like it wasn't the same. It was like different
Is that
act.
George C. Scott there?
No, I think it's E.G. Marshall or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's E.G. Marshall. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't this show.
Like, remember the Rookies? Remember how the Rookies was? How it wasn't the same Rookies every episode, week after week. They would introduce. It was like different
Yeah.
characters. Yeah, I think the Defenders might have been like that, but it was about young attorneys, I believe,
It's just I know that
young public defenders.
my father was in Vietnam, and George C. Scott just walked into wherever he was and sat down and talked with him for hours about things. And and he said that my dad said he knew George C. Scott from a TV show, and I could just do a Google search of George C. Scott and see what TV show he was in the early '60s to
Mhm.
figure that out. But July '63, number 80. This is looks like looks like a Kamala Harris voter.
I wonder who those people are.
They're gonna be mad staffers. I just don't know what they all look like.
Hmm.
Um, here, Dave Berg is still called David Berg, but he's starting to be a little more realistic
Yeah, yeah, it's
here.
starting to turn into what we knew.
And then this is the guy that you always knew was supposed to be the artist,
Yes,
but he's
yes.
drawn himself more kind of overweight here. This is it's Mutiny on the Bounty with Marlon Brando parody here, July of '63. Okay, number 80. When I got kicked off the air, was it just a purple background?
I can't remember. It was like this wavy pattern,
Oh, okay. Because
maybe
I think I'm
blue
going
and
to go
orange.
check to see if anyone's donated any money. That's probably going to kick me off the air, and then I'll have to come back in. Because otherwise, for some reason, my sound disappears. Let me see here. So my wife will be really happy if that happens. Let's see here. Oh man. Well, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. No, it's just still the $20 that gentleman donated. Maybe I'm not pumping it enough. I don't know. So I've got this box done, and now got some mad specials. This one's cool. It has a date stamp, December 3rd, 1964, which is, man, that's about a week after. No, no, it isn't. That's a year and a week after the Kennedy assassination. Okay, now I've got this big stack of Mads that have been displaced from my Mad Box number one. So now I've got to get Mad Box number two out. And I can't find Mad Box number 2. It's in another closet, but I can find Mad Box 3 and 4. So at least I could file some of these Mad Specials, maybe. But there were a bunch of them. There was more trash from Mad. There was Mad Special. There was the worst from Mad. Let's see. This is my childhood copy. I think that's, or is it this one? Probably this is the first Mad I ever got. And it's from spring of 71. And
Yeah.
I've got upgrades to it, but this is, uh, see, it has the Carpetbaggers parody in it. It has the Lawrence of Arabia parody in it. It has, there's the Kelly Frias candle soup thing, uh, parody of Hazel.
Did you ever watch Hazel?
Yeah, it wasn't one of my favorites. I watched it because I was waiting for other shows to come on, and back then
Yes.
there weren't
Yes.
many channels.
Hazel was a one of those shows that was like a disappointment at like 5:30 in the morning or something, or 6:30. Like you're waiting for something good to come on. The only other option, the only thing other than the news or the farm report would be Hazel or this other show called The Mother-in-Laws. Remember The Mother-in-Laws?
I've never, I know it exists, but I've never seen an episode of it. It's
It's like
not.
not for kids.
Yeah, it's like a kid watching the Golden Girls or something.
Yes. Yes.
That would be a weird thing. Um, yeah, Hazel. Yeah, that was the other one that really bothered me was That Girl. Because even though she's a pretty girl, it's just her personality, and she just seemed very annoying. And of course, later she became the wife of Phil Donahue. So I had other Mad Specials. Where did they go? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I only have this one, Mad Follies. Um, it's the second annual collection. So this was an annual one. It has a cool calendar in it that hasn't been taken out that unfolds to this poster.
I'm looking right now. It looks like the Carpetbaggers is George Papard and is that Tuesday Weld? It it it's not James Coburn. It's George Papard. You must have, yeah.
Okay, they look a little alike in cartoon form, I
Yeah,
guess.
and that's who the caricature must have been. It's 1964 is when it came out, and it
Okay,
really looks like Tuesday Weld to me, which would make sense why it would have been so popular, right? You know.
yeah.
And George Papard, wasn't he in Breakfast at Tiffany's too?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Maybe his character's name is Dax. Maybe that's who Judy named her
Mm.
son after. Is him. That would
Well, that
make
could
sense.
be, yeah. Oh, it's Julie Newmar's birthday today. She's 91.
Wow, she's so beautiful. That's a great picture, man. She's wow, 91.
The worst from Mad. more trash from Mad, the worst from Mad, and Mad Follies was the annual one. Is this the only cop? Mad. There was Mad Special, Mad Super Special, um, Special. Oh, here we go. Mad Special. Okay, here it is. This is, I think, the first Mad Follies. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
and then this is goes right after that. This one has the original um, paperback covers in it, which I better just move the camera to show you. You don't often see it. You can put these right over an actual paperback book, and uh, it's too complicated to do that. Yeah, okay.
That ad on the back. What is that ad on the back for?
Um, it's a parody of Miss Clairol, I think.
So another shampoo ad.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't care. What's the difference, or something like that? Does she or doesn't she?
yeah. This is the one that had that great record that came with it of "It's a Gas" with the jazzy song with the belching. No, no, it isn't. Or is it? No, this is the songbook. That's a different one I'm thinking of. It has a little book in here. Um, it's a different one that had the one that has "It's a Gas" has got Elvis. It's got uh, Alfred E. Newman holding a 45 RPM record, and the Beatles and Elvis and everyone are behind him, all looking like they're about to vomit. This is a parody of Mitch Miller here. More trash from. Oh, I see. I just got to find Mad Box number 2. There's no telling where that is. Um, Last Frontier Comics. George Papard. I liked him as Banachek.
Yeah, it's a good show. I remember.
I never saw it,
I've
but
seen
I'm
it on
sure it's
YouTube,
good.
and I remembered it as a kid a little bit. I watched more Mannix though. When I was a kid, we watched Mannix. I remember staying up late and watching Mannix.
Yeah, I didn't do much staying up late as a kid. Yeah, these are some trashed Savage Swords here, but I just saw Savage Sword box over there.
I was allowed to stay up late and watch Night Gallery, and I think myself. I mean, I was young, but just like everyone else, that episode with the earwig with Roddy McDowell really affected me and scared me when I was a little kid. I was like, I really believed that that could happen, that an insect could get inside your ear and drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And earwigs, and I thought that earwigs would do that to you, right? So I didn't like earwigs because of that.
Well, I never saw any night galleries when they were on, um, and I never saw Twilight Zone until fifth grade when we moved to the Seattle area. and they had 2 episodes of Twilight Zone on. I think it was on. It must have been Sunday night, and it was followed by 1 episode of The Outer Limits. So it was a 2-hour block, and so I really grew to love Twilight Zone. And then we moved back to Texas, and they were running Night Gallery on a independent station, Channel 11, and I was thinking this isn't as good as Twilight Zone. I was very disappointed by it. It's just because I was so used to that Twilight Zone, and how great it was. Uh, but I think he had studio interference. I'm not sure why, but or he wasn't as involved in the production as he was with Twilight Zone. Oh boy. They also Channel 11 had bad prints of everything. They were, or the film chain looked bad. The way they presented their old shows, where everything looked faded, and that might have taken away my enjoyment too. This is not even what it was this way. Marble black. Okay. Savage sort of color. Yeah. Number 29. I already have a 29. I have another 29. That's cool because this is a really great issue with a lot of Red Sonja art. So I'm glad I have a better quality copy of that. And then this one, someone like rolled this up in their pocket.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I may actually put this somewhere else. Okay, this one is 22. Um,
I like to put copies like that in places where they can be read, like the bathroom
oh,
or the
someone else is
GoFundMe.
trying to come in. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Hey there. What's up?
Howdy.
Hey
There
there.
you
How have you been doing?
Been doing good?
That's great. I came on trying to do a telethon, but I'm not doing a very good job of it. I raised $20. So if only I was like PBS and I had tote bags to give people. 49. 49. Oh, 49 looks like this. It's a beat up copy.
Yeah,
Again,
if
I
you
have
had
no idea.
a tote
What?
bag and Edgar Borga DVD set would be good, right? Is that guy's name?
I don't remember. Is he the guy that did the sound effects of the punctuation?
Yeah, he's like this a comedic pianist that would play like dinner theaters, I think.
Uh, yeah,
He was like on PBS a lot.
yeah. There was another guy that played the piano that did political
Oh yeah.
commentary. Forget his
Mark
name.
Mark something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. I interrupted. You were saying something else.
Who'd you interrupt?
You.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything of any consequence.
Well, I thought you were. Neither was I. Anyway, let's get those tote boards moving, everyone. It's really
Yeah.
easy to donate. I did it. You just click on the link and it takes you right to the GoFundMe page, and you can donate. Every little bit helps. $10, $20. A little bit goes a long way.
Might help if I put the thing up again.
They're just waiting. You have operators waiting, standing by right now, right? Is that
Oh,
what those?
Gotham City Comics says hello. Um, um, a second. Ah, yeah, I can't find Mad Magazine Box 2. I'm going to have to do some looking for that. Unless it's one of these boxes. Oh, here it is. How about that? I was trying to put the link to the. Hold on a second. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, all right. This is the link. Gotham City, come on if you want.
Go.
Oh,
It's
I
your
probably need to put the
donation.
link there again.
It's your donations that make this programming possible on the Gratu Orloff Network.
You know,
Help us
if
help you
the thing is,
in
if
one
I
way
could
you
get other
can.
people to see, it's embarrassing to ask for money, but when other people do it for you, like I did that whole telethon, I spent 24 hours trying to raise money for Maranya, and that worked. But when you're the one asking, it's embarrassing and it doesn't work. But I could sell the hell out of donating money to her. That's not embarrassing, but and it was a worthy cause and everything. It just
Thank you, Chris. Chris Ekman just gave us the answer in the chat. Victor Borga and Mark Harris, I think.
what's oh
Mark
yeah,
Ruff.
I was thinking of a different guy that used to do these little funny songs on piano about politics or current events. I just can't remember that guy's name. Okay,
What the?
so I'll pull out. No, it says a swing with Tarzan today. We're pulling out Mads Star Wars issue, pushing them back, putting these Mads in. Oh,
Gratu, do you have the first magazine-sized issue of Mad?
no, I wish I did. No, I don't have. I'm my. No, I don't
What's that
have.
number? What's that number? 2023?
It's in the 20s. I don't know. I used to be able to tell you that, but that was a while ago when I had everything memorized about everything. When I got that first Overstreet price guide, I think it might have been the summer before sixth grade. I spent the whole summer looking through that and memorizing everything, and finding out all these comics that came out before I was born and learning the companies that used to put them out. I had all that down, and now that's all been flushed out of my mind. Uh,
Often it's the most important stuff to go first. Ken. So, I'm
Like the
sorry.
first black and white issue of Mad.
I'm sorry you've lost that. You'll probably never regain that information, but that was probably the most important thing that you can't remember.
Yeah, probably. Oh, well. Yeah, this mad artist, Jack Rickard, never really gets the. He was the guy that was drawing some of that really cool stuff in the early 60s. He's not a mad artist they talk about that much. And he was great.
Yeah,
That's
that
one of the
copy
things.
you showed before um, of Ricard's art, I kind of thought that was Mort Drucker when you were showing that.
Yeah, I know. That's what yeah, or sometimes he's so good you think it's Wally Wood. Um,
Yeah, there's similarities between Drucker and Rickard.
okay, so this is, gotta write it on here, box 4. So whoever asked earlier how many I have, it looks like I've got about 4.5 magazine boxes of Mads. So this one in the back, oh, well, that's good. This in the back doesn't have as stuff that isn't Mad. I can take out. It's the complete guide to the X-Men. Let's put that somewhere else.
Who
One of
did
these
all the
National Lampoon specials.
Who did those painted like TV and movie parody covers that were so good in the 70s, like the Charles Bronson or the Bionic Man and the Bionic Woman or Fonzie? Was that all Rickard that did that? Or was that Mort Drucker? You know the ones
No,
I'm
I don't
talking
think
about?
Mort Drucker. It must have been Rickard because I don't think I don't remember Drucker covers so much.
Feels like every month of like 75 and 76, you had these really great parody, celebrity covers, and then a few, seasonal stuff mixed in, like, a winter cover or Arbor Day cover.
This is only 2015. This one. And then there's a Batman coloring book. You can cut it out and make yourself Two-Face.
That's a cool
It's
coloring book.
Planet of the Apes activity book from when I was a kid. I think I didn't do any of the activities because I wanted to keep it nice. And then the cut it and color book, which I never colored, and a coloring book. Yeah, I just kept everything nice. I respected Planet of the Apes. And here's Bullwinkle. This probably came out in the 80s, but I'm sure it's a reprint of 60s stuff. Some 90s coloring book where Superman's got the mullet. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, this is all going to work out just fine. I got my Mads organized. Put these over here. Then I'll pull out those Overstreet guides you were wanting to see. They're right here. I've been meaning to do that.
You want to see a few of my books?
Yeah.
I pulled out a couple.
Good. Yeah. Do it.
I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a great issue. I don't think I have that. I think I'd remember that giant big on there. That's great.
Yeah, all my GI combats have Russ Heath art.
Okay.
Like specifically, because I think he's the best war artist that ever lived. John Severin's a close second.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never seen these with that big lettering on them. I don't have any of these. And Russ Heath is amazing. Always with the angles and the stuff, grayscale.
That House of Secrets we were talking about maybe last week.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
A really cool Bernie cover.
Hold on a second.
Some Wally action. I bought like 10 of these because the guy that had them was selling them for like $2 a piece.
Great.
Yeah, that is great. Yeah, I know that there was a bunch of those found, but it's still great. Yeah, I've
It
got
makes
that
me
as
wonder
well.
where that was sold. I mean, I do know that, like you said, that there was that a bunch were found, but it makes me wonder where that was marketed to. Because it doesn't look like a like a spinner rack comic. It looks more like a
It was
cigar shop.
it was our PXs. It was to guys in the army.
Yeah, liquor store comic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the second issue, which was magazine sized, is kind of more on the rare side. I didn't pull that one out, but I also have it. And it's that is also really, really good. I wish I would have pulled it out, but there's another some EC action for you.
Nice.
Oh, that's real.
Yeah, it's real.
That looks brand new.
Yeah, it's got a little tape on the spine. It's okay though. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then this one I got for free.
Oh wow.
And this is in really nice shape. I actually bought. I was in Gary Dolgoff's warehouse in Brooklyn back in the early '90s, before he moved to Massachusetts, and I was buying a bunch of Warren books. Like I think I spent $500. And then we're walking around his warehouse, and he's like, he pulled this off the shelf. He's like, "You want this?" I'm like, "Yeah," and that's how it went.
Nice.
He was giving it to you free because you bought so many Warrens.
Even though it says number 17, it's actually number 5.
Yeah, because there's some other title before.
1951. And here's a superhero book.
Yeah, I've got that one. I think it's great that Jonah Hex is going to see the baby Jesus.
The thing that I don't know, you probably know this, but most people don't. This was the first time that Frank Miller drew Batman.
Huh.
In this
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's fairly significant if you're a Frank Miller guy.
Last Frontier Comics is great war comics. That's what I collect. Yeah, Last Frontier is great. Thank you again, Last Frontier, for that wonderful package you sent me with that Laurel and Hardy comic and all those great Golden Age books. That was a really wonderful thing. I've never seen that one. That's great.
This one's got I don't remember if it's Wally Wood or Bernie Wrightson inside. I think it's got a Bernie Wrightson story. Here's another Fear.
Oh wow, that is great. Yeah, your copies look very good.
And this is probably the gem of my entire collection.
Did you get these decades ago?
Yes. I bought this one and The Haunt of Fear back in 91 or 92.
Okay.
And this particular issue is the first collaboration between Frazetta and Al Williamson at EC.
Oh, wow.
I bet these smell great.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm serious. There's a smell to these books. They They smell amazing, right?
Yeah, I bought both of those. I think I paid $450 for both of them, and I thought that was like crazy money, but it just seemed like the right thing to do. Um, and they're both in like very fine plus condition. So that $450 investment is definitely probably quadrupled.
Yes.
Since 1991, 92. So I'm happy about it now. That's all I
Yeah.
got.
Oh, cool. Let's see. Kevin is just spinning, man. Kevin, you want to try coming back in? Oof. Well. Oh, here's another savage sword. Oh, I put that over there because I was gonna put. It looks. The reason I want to put this somewhere else. It looks a little. I don't know. It almost looks like that's might be little spots of mold, and I don't know if I want to put that in another. Put that somewhere separate.
Yeah, put it in a magazine rack next to the commode. And then you'll read it. That's the reason I do that. I'm not doing it for guests. I don't have any guests. So I do that sort of thing, then I'll read it because it's in there as opposed to just looking at the phone every time.
Yeah. This is the first price guide I got, the 1976 one. And Robert Bell has an ad on the back, $7.50. And the print wasn't tiny like the one now. But I spent a lot of time looking at this, and this was, and these ads for these comic stores. And then a comic store would actually open in my town the next summer after this. You could see the pictures of old comics. And
That's nice, man.
so as a sixth grader, I developed a lot of knowledge about comics just from reading this and seeing what, I would look up the comics I had that I thought were the most valuable and see what they were. I don't think the industry has ruined everything where this is a worthless thing now. I heard people talking about X-Men #3 is on the stands now. So how many X-Men #3s are there? And then how many different covers are there for every X-Men #3 that there's been? I don't know how someone decades from now would ever collect comics and understand. Okay, so Amazing Fantasy 15 in good condition was $80 and fine condition 120 and mint condition $160 back then. But the price, everything's relative. My parents bought a house for $28,000 during the summer that this book came out that later sold for over 200,000. But this is my first one. Do you have older ones, Imsh?
The earliest ones I have are 9, 10, and 11.
Okay, I'm looking at 9 here. I can see why you have that one. I'll
Yes.
show that in a minute. See how I kept the spine nice as a fifth grader going into sixth grade. There's no splits in it because I even as a kid I knew to handle a book like this, and then I'm going to read this page. I go like that, but I don't put any stress and crease on the spine.
Did Eisner do the cover on that?
Yeah, that's an Eisner cover.
Oh, okay.
That's at this point in '76, the Warren magazine was still going. I think it ended right about the time this came out, and then a few months later, it came back with the same numbering from kitchen sink. Okay, so that's 6. So it doesn't look like I got number 7. I came back for number 8. Meyer has this one, or
Ah,
had it. I remember him talking about this.
Yeah,
I
that's the
almost bought
first
that
one
one.
that I got, or my
Do you
mother
still
bought it
have it?
for me. Yeah, yeah, I still have it. And I did the same thing that you did. So I got that the summer between 7th and 8th grade, and I poured over the entire book page after page, reading every single advertisement for every comic shop that was in there and looking at all the everything.
Yeah.
But I didn't get into it until after you, by a couple of years. So I didn't have my first price guide and didn't live next to a comic shop until the summer before 8th grade. Before
Oh,
that, all I had was Safeway and the bait shop.
oh, Gotham City has a video uploading. He guesses his
7-Eleven.
phone can't handle both. He's probably doing one of his videos where he's showing the new books coming out next week. But the ads were fascinating, and here's the ad for the complete EC library. Um,
I think there's an ad in there for Pacific Comics. It's kind of this really cool Wally Wood art, this space woman, really shapely. She's in like a bubble helmet and a space suit. Remember that one?
yeah, let me
Hourglass.
see if I can find it.
The full page ad.
This is some guy in Seattle with this ad. Um, this, Nostalgia Shop is moving in 1978. Um, this is a place in Orange, California, the book sale.
Yeah, I remember that ad.
Yeah, this was all very exciting then. The collecting comics. It was like, thought someday I might have Golden Age comics, but of course, I think I'm pretty much at the end of
Oh,
my
that's it.
comic collecting. I can't, the
Yeah.
finances are getting so bad here, unless, Trump wins or the election isn't stolen. I don't even know, you know, here I am on here shilling for money, and I hopefully someone will donate to. I'm just not very good at this. I helped raise a lot of money for Maranya, but I can't do it for myself. Here's number 9, which I knew you would have this one with your EC collection. And the
Beautiful.
spine is perfect.
It's perfect. It's brand new. So these are actually quite expensive on the resale market, Gratu. If you didn't know, these are right.
I've heard that. I don't.
I think they are. I think that's
Yeah, I
probably a
think you're
$50
right.
book, or something, maybe more. I don't know.
I just don't. I don't know.
Oh, man.
I don't have the earlier ones. I think especially, and the ads are fascinating. Oh, there's a Lone Star ad, I believe.
I'm trying to show you my Wally Wood tattoo.
Oh,
Oh,
well, you're not. Hold on, let me give you the camera. This is an ad for Lone Star Comics and Science Fiction, and it's already moved to its second location on East Abram. Okay, let me give you the full. Okay, all right. Let's see.
Where is it? There it is. I don't know if you can. My
Oh, we
camera.
can see.
No, hold on, hold on,
What are
hold on,
we? What are we trying to see here?
hold on here, hold on. I can't figure out where to put this freaking camera. God damn it! It's like all backwards.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to get used to the backwardsness.
wood. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just his signature, in his old English Gothic style.
Well, the first time I saw his signature was in a Mad special in 1972 with a reprint of the Super Duper Man story from Mad,
Yeah, me too.
and
Thing, I think.
um, and I thought I didn't know it said wood. I thought it said mood.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the W was an M as a
So
7-year-old.
so many people ask me that on the street, or if I go to comic hunting or record shops or whatever. They're like, "Does that say mood?" And I'm like, "No, it's wood, wood."
Well, I thought that initially, and then I learned about Hollywood and everything. By the They don't put the year on them at this point. Let's see. This is the number 17. Howard Rogofsky
Yeah.
was the guy that was famous for saying tape on a comic wasn't a defect, and he did an interview with the Comics Journal years later, and they kind of ribbed him about that, and he said, "Well, I didn't think it was, but um, they don't have yellow pages anymore at this point. Of course, anyone younger wouldn't understand what yellow pages even are."
Hey, Emsh, do you know about the Passaic Book Center? You know anything about that place?
I've heard about it. I was never there. I've heard
Okay.
about it though.
Yeah, I always imagined, because I'm from California and always reading that ad, I always imagined it was this giant place. Like, I was, in my little kid mind, I pictured this huge warehouse that had everything,
Yeah, for what I've seen and heard, it supposedly was. But
Mhm.
I grew up in Staten Island, and then I moved to Brooklyn later. So I was never like a Jersey guy until I moved here.
Let's see what's going on
Too
in
late for
Mesa,
that.
Arizona. What's new in Mesa?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Not much. Is the first Deadpool, is that at its maximum earning power right now, or does nobody care?
I think everybody has one by now.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm trying to think of ways I can raise money, man. I'm really hurting. Trying to do a telethon, but I raised $20.
Yeah, today's been pretty tough.
Yeah.
Hey,
Did
Kevin, I just thought of it right now. Did you send Gratu that video of the Mesa Batman?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. I saw that. Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah, that's
fascinating.
pretty great. There was a
Yeah.
girl that used to come into a store about 10 years ago dressed as the Michael Keaton Batman. It was pretty neat. Well, let's see what he's got going here. And
This is the new Mad.
I,
Yeah, that's the new man.
Because of the
okay.
new, there's a
I
new
think that
Alien.
movie
Is
comes
there
out
an
today.
Alien
I
movie?
think the new movie came out today.
A new what? A new Alien movie?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
I wouldn't have
That's
known if it wasn't for Distortions Unlimited released a mask based on their original '80s mask. That was actually it has a movie. It was from Geiger's actual mold from his actual sculpture. They reproduced a mask.
I just heard
This is
about it last night on the Jack Show. They were talking about it. Some of the people on the show had already seen it and were talking about it.
Yeah,
is
and there's
that
a
the first
popcorn
issue?
bucket. That's the second one.
How is it compared to the first? Have you looked through it?
I looked through it. It looks worse, but I haven't read it yet. Look at this,
Okay.
though. I'm excited to check this out.
I don't think I have that. I know I don't have that record, but I've seen it. Is that Neil Adams art? Probably.
Looks
Yeah,
like Neil.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's a reissue, and so they promote that it's Neil Adams.
Oh,
He was working for Power Records quite a bit back then.
there might be some new artwork inside. It comes with more inside, I think.
very nice.
So, dude. Oh, you saw the video. You're the first one.
I know. 3 minutes.
I couldn't go live because that video was uploading. What's this? I was talking to the guys online. Oh, cool.
That's great.
Friar Tuck says, I understand your guys' trepidation, but you need to give some newer things a chance if you want the medium to survive, be it TV, movies, or comics. Well, trepidation about what? About the EC?
I've been
There,
trying it. I've been trying
there,
every one so far.
yeah, there's good stuff coming out, TV, movies, and comics. It's just not much. And
I
I'll
try
um,
be
new
back
stuff.
in a second, guys.
all right,
I try new stuff constantly.
yeah, that artist that's on the cover of that limited cover of Epitaphs from the Abyss. I like that guy's art. I like his book Dwellings, but I
Yeah,
can't
that's
buy a
all.
book just for the cover. I've done it before, but if the art is as bad as the first issue of Epitaphs from the Abyss, that's real bad. And I can't do that. I'd rather get a reprint of an old EC comic.
Yeah, or for
But
the same price, you can buy a Dell comic.
yeah,
Same
uh,
price for a new comic, and you could buy a Dell comic for $5 instead from 1959 or something.
yeah.
Um, but I try new stuff in all categories, especially movies and television. I do try new comic books, but only at recommendations from people I trust. I don't blindly buy stuff. Every once in a while, I might, if Kevin shows something that looks interesting enough to me and it's new and I don't know anything about it, I might jump on at the beginning, like that new book Babs. Um, but most of the new stuff I buy comes at recommendation of my sons who are in their late 20s, early 30s. So they buy new stuff all the time. They both read stuff that I don't even know anything about, but they tell
Yeah.
me, show me what's good, and they advise me. But with
Hey,
movies and television, same thing. I watch new stuff all the time as well. I
yeah.
just still prefer older things.
Trepidation about all Ghost Machine comics still good. Yeah, they're great. That's a good company. New EC any good? Find some good stuff in it. Well, okay. I admit that cover is okay on that new comic, but other than that, I Meyer speaks well of some newer toys and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I collect contemporary toy lines. I buy new stuff as well as the old stuff.
Well, there's
Um,
lots of channels you can watch where you can see them glorify all the new books and new stuff. I just sick of tired of having a bunch of Marxism shoved down my throat
yeah, a
and
good example is the new
everything that comes out.
yeah, the new Batman cartoon is a good example where um, I already knew about the bad press from YouTube. I still watched it anyway, and I'm still disappointed and saddened by the whole thing.
There, I mean, we're in the middle of a communist overthrow of the country, and we're surrounded by propaganda, and I am aware of it, and I'm not going to pay for it. I was going to go see the Deadpool movie, but my wife is in the other room. I need to go check on her. She's was sleepy, sound asleep. She hasn't slept in like 48 hours. She's been in that much pain. I'm trying to raise a little money. A nice person donated $20, and I think Friar Tuck's donated some money too a couple of weeks ago, and I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But that's just me. I'm a cynical guy. I'm cantankerous. I don't like bad stuff. If I don't have every issue, like those House of Secrets that Imsh was just showing, I don't have some of those. Most of the stuff he showed, I don't own. I'd rather get that stuff than some comic coming out today from these this trash coming out today. Now, TV shows, there are a lot of good TV shows coming out right now. We were looking at something last night. Did you know there's a Time Bandits TV series? How did that happen and we never heard about it?
I
I
don't
mean, I
know.
remember liking that movie when it came out. I'm sure it's terrible and I'm sure it's all uh, just awful, but it's like How did they do that without me knowing it?
No. We used to watch that. That movie was in a solid rotation with my group of friends in probably about
Yeah,
1981 or 1982.
but it's a brand new series on yeah. Um, maybe Friar Tuck saying so. Maybe I need to quit focusing on negative stuff. Could be a me problem. I don't know. I don't think I'm like some of the shows um, that just focus only on everything that's going wrong with culture. Although I I understand those shows like Nerdrotic right now. I guess they're on right now. It's Friday, and I haven't watched them in a while. But you know what? Everything they say is pretty dead on. I don't need it glorified. Just saying, need it glorified. I'm not following. I don't need what glorified. The old stuff or the new stuff?
Old stuff is best.
Yeah, but what is Friar Tuck saying? Let me go back and see. I'm looking at these comments. I understand your guys' trepidation, but you need to give some newer things a chance if you want the medium to survive. The medium's dead. Be it TV, movies, movies are pretty much, yeah, they're all pretty much dying out.
Art is dead. You could easily you could say that art.
You couldn't say
This
it's
is something
terrible
that's
until you give it a fair shake, is all I'm saying. Oh, I give it a well, what I do every week is I ask Kevin, who runs the comic store, what's out that's good, and I want to. I'm always, and he says, no, it's pretty much all terrible, and then he shows me what's good, a few things that are good, and he confirms to me how terrible the terrible stuff is. I'm not. I don't know. I give things a fair shake. I think I do. I mean, I don't want a world where all the music's terrible. I want to like music. I'm constantly looking for new music. I'm constantly looking for. I never insulted Time Bandits. Watch an episode of Time Bandits first, then come on and say it's horrible, is all I'm saying. I never said it was horrible. I said, did you guys know there's a new Time Bandits? I don't know. It's probably terrible because it's probably all the characters that you know have been changed to fit the new way. But I'll watch it. If I've never gotten my wife to watch the original movie, so that would be the first thing I'd have to do. Yeah, I think I'm looked at as this cantankerous a-hole on YouTube that just doesn't like anything. He's like Mikey. I guess that's yeah. So that's
I watched that new. So there's a new show. Well, it's not new anymore. The Fallout on Prime is a very good show. Um, it's based on a video game that is a good video game that I grew up watching my kids play, or my kids
oh,
grew up playing, and I didn't
yeah,
grow up. When I watched my kids play when they were teenagers,
right.
and it's a good TV show as well. The Prime series was good, and the agenda wasn't overpowering.
Stargirl was great. We haven't finished watching that. That was
No,
great.
I haven't finished it yet.
I was I was enjoying the Teen Titans show, even though it was kind of they put stuff in it that like ridiculously R-rated stuff into the show that really didn't need to be there. There was an episode with crypto. This there was some great stuff in, but we lost. I didn't. We lost track of that show. I don't. We have to go back and catch up on that. But yeah, there's new stuff that's yeah.
You guys
Uh,
want to see some paperback covers?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, turn your camera up. There you go.
All right.
Sweet.
Little cracked action.
I don't have.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
I haven't
Chock
either.
full of John Severin.
You said it's probably some same difference. Maybe why give stuff a fair shake is all. But I agree with you on most older stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'll like all the new stuff, and I'll from now on. Oh, I didn't even know that they did a humbug. That's something.
great.
Yeah,
The Jeff
that's
Davis
something.
cover looks like.
Yeah, I've got that one at least.
I have 5 of these.
Wow, outstanding.
Here's a fairly rare one.
Yes, that is. They pulled that when he was killed,
Yep.
and they put in they changed it to Alfred Newman in a stagecoach getting a ticket from a policeman. Yeah, that's a great one. Hold on, someone's coming in here. Nope, no one's coming in. Let me give you full screen again. Yeah, that's a Frazetta cover. I have that one as well.
I'm sure you got this one too.
No, that one I don't. That's the one reprinting the science fiction stuff. And then there's another one that's a Bradbury one that doesn't have a comic-looking cover, I think.
Yeah, I got that too. I should have pulled it out. The Autumn People.
It's what is it called?
The Autumn People.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
I got that one too.
So there's more price guides over there, but those are the best ones.
What's the Roger? What's the earliest issue of the original Warren Vampirella you have? What number do you have?
Well, I have the first issue. It's not in the best condition, but
Oh, you have number 1?
yeah.
Oh, nice. I don't. I started at number 2.
I think 2 is in pretty bad shape also, but I've got pretty much all the early issues because I was buying them before anyone cared about Vampirella.
Yeah.
And that, well, actually, I guess I have 2 Vampirella number 1s, and because I have someone sold me 2 books that were bound sets of the first 24 maybe issues of Vampirella. So it's got a little trimming and it's bound into a book, but I have another Vampirella that's in better shape.
Yeah, the only Vampy one I have is a French edition. I think it's from like 71 or 72.
Okay.
With like $1.25 cover price. But that's about as close as I get to number 1.
Did your parents have any reaction to the Warren books like Vampirella or Creepy or Eerie? Do you have any memories of them seeing these books like in your possession when you were 10 or 12? Like, been like, what, especially the Vampirella covers where she's like, kneeling down, cleavage pouring out, right, looking at you.
Well, no, but when I was in second grade, I'd be in a bookstore with my mom, and I'd bring them up to my mom, and I'd say, "Can I buy this?" The only Vampirella I ever brought up to her, she let me buy, and looking back on it, it didn't have a central image of Vampirella. It just had they must have not had anything that month. Maybe the artist was late delivering the painting, so they just had panels from inside, and so one of them had a guy with a knife coming in, and there was a very R-rated image within that panel. I don't think she saw it. She just flipped through it, and I guess she thought it was okay for me to read, but it was and yeah, the early stuff I got with her approval. But usually she said, "Nope, don't ever show me this again." But I think that was the only Vampirella. Usually it was Creepy and Eerie that I brought up to her in like 1972, early 73. She had some rule that I had to be certain age to buy those magazines, without her permission. And I don't know. And in the early days, I had to do that with Mad as well. I'd have to, she would flip through an issue of Mad. Cracked, she didn't have any problem with, but Mad, she would flip through it until second grade. Then I could buy Mad. She thought maybe Mad was maybe subversive because there was an issue probably about 1971 that that it was a photograph cover of the White House and the front gate of the White House, and it had a sign hanging there, "This country is out of order." And Alfred Newman was just a tiny little head in the corner next to the logo, and that bothered her because my dad was in the army, and that magazine I was showing to her was off the rack of the PX newsstand. I guess it just bothered her that it was anti-American, she thought, but it was just really the country was out of order. That would be like if there was a sign up now. It was just like, yes, that is the case. um, I've never seen anything like this in my life. What's going on? It's just like a clown show. It's unbelievable.
You want to hear a strange story?
Yeah.
I went into a kind of a local newsstand, grocery place back in 1977. So I was 11 years old back then, and I saw the first issue of Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
On the rack. It's got those two robots, the dominatrix robot killing the other one underneath her or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went up to the counter. I tried to buy it. The guy, the store owner refused to sell it to me. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then I went back a few weeks later, or maybe a few months, or maybe the next year, whatever it was, and I bought a National Lampoon, one of the National Lampoons with that Frazetta cover, with that chick on the cover, and you could see her nipples. Like, they were just like out, and he sold it to me no problem. So I couldn't understand why he refused to sell me the Heavy Metal, but it was okay to get the Frazetta National Lampoon cover. It was kind of weird.
Was it a back issue of National Lampoon?
No. It was the first issue. I think that's April 77.
No. There's that Heavy Metal, yeah. But then when you went back and got an issue of, did you like another issue of Heavy Metal? You said National Lampoon, but you meant Heavy Metal.
No, it was National Lampoon.
And there was a Frazetta cover after the Heavy Metal #1.
Yeah, I think that was pre-77. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got it backwards, but whatever the case was.
The Frazetta cover I'm thinking of that fits that description's from about maybe 1973. And so unless that guy had back issues, there could have been, Frazetta may have done something later after Heavy Metal 1. The one I'm thinking of is like that Goblin Queen, and she's standing there, and there are all these monsters around her.
Yeah. Isn't there one that looks like a crucifixion, kind of? Is there a crucifixion?
Yeah, there's one where there's like a Martian Jesus crucified on Mars, and he's got 4 arms.
Yeah,
that was a pretty controversial.
Actually, you know what? Now that you mention it, it was probably I probably got turned down for the Lampoon first, because I would have been 7 back then.
Yes, that's when that came out, and then later he sold you the Heavy Metal with the robots fighting.
Yeah, I'm drinking beer, so I'm a little backwards right now.
No, okay, I could understand. I don't think that you should sell that to a 7-year-old. I bought that from Lone Star Comics when I was probably in 7th grade. A back issue of that. They would sell me the back issues with pretty risque covers at Lone Star Comics, but it was the employees, it wasn't the owner. But that's how I got my National Lampoon collection, because I don't think I bought a new issue of National Lampoon until about 1978. But I was buying earlier issues, which were really better issues. The peak years of National Lampoon were the early to mid 70s, and it kind of, it was good up through when Animal House came out, and a little bit after, and there were still moments, but then it just it petered out as some of the original minds either died or went on to Saturday Night Live, or making movies, whatever.
Do you have a copy of the I forget what year or month it was, but of the High Times with the Mothman cover by Frazetta?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's one I still need to get. You should check that out. It's a great cover.
Yeah. The Great Legend Show says, "Hey guys, Gratu, Meyer, Gotham, Imsh, all fossils. Shout out to Mrs. Gratu. Been praying for both of you. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate all your messages you've been sending outside of the show too. God bless the both of you during these end times. Amen." And Great Legends making pizza while the wife watches our puppy. Yeah, I saw the pictures of your puppy. These are really cool. And Great Legend Show says hi to Fryer out in Sherwood Forest. I'm gonna check on my wife to see if she's still asleep. She's passed out, which is good because she's in a lot of pain when she's awake. Oh, let's see what Gotham City's got here. Okay, is this the new epitaphs from the Abyss?
No, we can look at that in a second. This is just the new red coat.
Okay, that's why it looks good.
Yeah, the art looks nice.
I was just saying this looks awfully good for those new EC comics. Yeah, this is the line of comics that is actually good right now. Or you could get that ridiculous Predator versus Black Panther. What the heck is that? Okay, is there one cover that's better on this book?
I like this one better, don't you?
Yeah, do you have multiples of that cover?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that put that one back for me. It's gonna be a little bit before I can start hitting my pile again because we're really having some financial emergencies and Cleo's in a lot of pain, but I think I told you that. Um,
Look at this. They sent me a little ash can preview of Hyde Street.
okay. And who is this book from? Is it a one from them?
Yeah, it's the Geigerverse.
Okay. Yeah, this is
Oh, look at that.
yeah, well this is a new comic book that's good. Clearly this is better than Predator versus Black Panther.
Look at the ads.
Good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Piranha people. Pretty neat. Now that's a limited cover, right? With that artist, right?
Yeah, that's the last one I'm getting. I'm not ordering 10 copies anymore.
Oh, you had to get 10 copies to get that cover.
Yeah, this book doesn't sell.
Really, what have people said about it?
People don't. I mean, people don't come in here and buy it because people go based on reviews that they see online for this stuff.
Right.
What issue is
This
this?
one even has like less stories than that first one.
Okay.
Hello.
What issue number? What issue number is this,
It's the
Kevin?
Hang
second.
on one second, guys. I'll be
Sure.
right back. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
that's okay.
Okay.
It's the second issue.
Okay, thank you.
The first issue had a story about they were trying to be real controversial about the thing that you get in your arm that they thought they'd be real edgy with that. You used to not be able to say that on YouTube, that word that starts with V. Um, but it The thing about that company is they bought the EC name, but they didn't buy the rights to the names of the comics, Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, so or Weird Science or Weird Fantasy. They're having to come up with their own names for new EC comics. They've got a Barbarian Sword and Sorcery book coming out
You
called
like that title, Epitaphs from the Abyss? What does it even say to you? What does that mean? An epitaph is what's written on a tombstone, right? Is
right,
that what an
right,
epitaph is? And then from the abyss, an abyss is a bottomless pit,
like a dark
the
void pit. Yeah,
void that transverses dimensions or time or space. It's a emptiness, a
yeah.
void.
My main problem with it doesn't flow because it's saying epitaph. It makes you feel like you're Sylvester the cat. I just
Yes.
it shouldn't. It's just a hard word. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It's comfortably. It just because everybody wonders, well, what's an epitaph? What's an abyss? It's just Tales from the Crypt, The Haunt of Fear, Vault of Horror. Those were very easy um, to understand and say names. And but they must have different owners, different people owning them now. Those, but they just bought the rights to the EC logo and the EC name, from what is what it looks like to me. So they have one coming out about sword and sorcery. I forget what it's called, and so then they'll have horror. They'll have science fiction with Cruel Universe. They'll have a sword and sorcery one, and it's something else universe or something. I don't know, or it's Cruel something. And then
Doesn't Cruel Universe sound like a Bananarama song, right?
yeah, Cruel Summer. Yeah, but it also implies that all the stories are going to be have unhappy endings, and I don't remember that being the case with Weird Science and Weird Fantasy. It seems like a lot of the stories did have twist endings like that, but I don't think they were all. It, Cruel Universe means something bad's got to happen in every story. Um, so you painted yourself into that corner. Um, there was another title I just can't remember. I was excited about it. I was willing to give it a chance. I was certainly willing to give it a chance until Kevin opened up the book, which is the same as me opening up the book and looking at the art, and he was telling me about the stories. I could see what it is. I mean, I could drive an hour to a comic store and flip through it, or I could just watch it virtually on YouTube. Either way, I was disappointed because I was thinking, well, maybe something good could come out today. Um, there are some good new musical artists I see on Instagram, um, but most of them sound like old stuff. I don't know. I, it's not that I want to hate everything. It's just everything is crappy. Then when I say everything, obviously that's hyperbole, as the word Joe Biden likes to use. It's exaggeration. Obviously, there are still good things, but it's for a while you just kind of give up. Um, and it's good because it saves you money. Uh, uh, his phone must have died. It's rough to see my wife in so much pain, man. And then I got to go back to work on Wednesday, so then I'll be. Um, I'm probably gonna have to drive her like an hour to get to a doctor that can help her with some of the things happening with her. But then she's got anxiety in motor vehicles. So, but I'll I mean, I'll get it done. It's just, uh, she was referred to a certain doctor in that city, and then she calls to make the appointment, and they said, "Well, that doctor's not taking new patients anymore, but you could see some of these." And her doctor told her specifically, "This is the doctor to get." And so she called back her doctor, and it's like, they're trying to refer me to other doctors. And she was on hold for a long time and never got through to the doctor to ask because she didn't want to get some. And then, some women prefer women doctors for this kind of medicinal stuff. And some are less comfortable with male doctors with this particular type of stuff. And it's, I don't know, I'm sure they're all competent doctors, but yeah, so I'd kind of like to keep doing this show, but it's really hard to do the show when she's in this much pain. And I don't know when this pain is going to end. And then we're in this financial predicament that's going to cause, she hasn't been able to work. So that's caused us more financial stress. And we're starting to sink, man. I guess everybody is. And um, I don't have any, I thought, well, you put several thousand hours of entertainment out on YouTube, and maybe some people could help you out because I've seen them help others out. But then, people are suffering, and as long as they could, say a prayer or something, that'd be great. But I just, you know, going on and doing real long live streams while she's suffering, I can't do that shit. That's really callous of me, uh, and I don't have anything really to show people. I mean, I don't. And clearly, people are getting sick of my attitude because I'm hearing it in the comments. It's like, why don't you ever like any of the new wonderful stuff? And it's like, well, I'm sorry. That's just my shtick. I don't like anything. And then, so but there's lots of happy shows you can go to where everybody's just all sweetness and light. It's like, wow, look at this. It's X-Men #3. Made this baseball card with myself on it when I was like in third or fourth grade. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's this one, guys. If you want to help out, this is the GoFundMe address.
It only takes a little to help a lot.
Well, yeah, I think everybody watching right now has already donated. It's
Well, you never know. There might be some people that watch it on the replay.
yeah, it could be. Yeah, I,
the VOD gang, right?
Ugh.
There's a lot of them. There's a couple hundred, 200, 300, 400 per video that don't watch live, that watch
Yeah,
later.
that's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah. But if anyone could help, that would really be wonderful. Be fantastic. But
And how long is the GoFundMe going to stay up?
I don't know how long it stays up. I really don't. It seems like occasionally the address changes to it, but maybe the old addresses still work. I don't know how long it works. I don't know anything about it. I re- um, maybe I should try starting a new one or something and doing away with the old one. Um,
I've been thinking about the last couple of days about starting a live show uh, right after the move, like starting a live, premiering a live show right right when I'm unpacking in the new place, like the introduction to the new place, and because it's difficult. I want to make videos of the process, but it's difficult to make long form videos. I'd rather do it all live.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? I'd rather, because I work for I'd rather work for 6 hours and film it all live and then put it up that way, right? Doesn't that make the most
yeah,
sense?
yeah, yeah. That would.
Shiver Suspense Stories. That's a nice logo. That looks pretty good.
Oh, hold on. Let me go to him. Uh, oh, is that the new one of the new ones coming? Okay, yeah, this is their, since they can't use shock suspense stories, and that's Cruel Kingdom is their new sword and sorcery.
Okay. Oh, so they're using Cruel twice.
Yeah, I guess Cruel is their new weird,
Hmm.
since they can't use weird. So maybe those books will have good art, but
All right, let's take
I
a look. So this
don't
that's the standard cover, right?
we
Kind
haven't
of cool. I don't mind it.
inside.
So
This part in the last book, this was the best part. Was this opening
the intro
intro?
art looks cool.
And look at, like, in between stories, you're supposed to see him. This is the grave digger. Remember in the old EC, you would, after this story, you would see him again, right? Remember in the old EC, you'd always see the host,
Yeah.
and then you'd see him right here pop up and introduce this story.
Yeah,
They're not doing that with him. He's the coolest thing about. Oh, there he is. So they used him a little bit. In the first one, they didn't use him at all. Well, this, at least they put him right there in the last story.
He might cover sometimes in
That
those
was it.
introductions, he's covering all the stories, or he might talk about the first two stories in that introduction. You know what I mean? Sometimes that in the introduction he talks about what's coming up.
But he's definitely the coolest part about this book.
The art doesn't look bad, but the backgrounds are still lacking, and it all looks computer generated, which isn't good.
Oh, I'll show you guys a book that I'm hoping is good. Find it.
Maybe the stories will be better in that one. Like that won't possible. It'll be
Check
good.
this out. How do you say that? Patra?
Yeah, Patra or Patra. What's that?
So Scott Collins, he's a local artist here.
I like that cover. It looks cool.
That's a Francavilla cover. But Scott Collins here, let me show you his art. He's good. He worked at DC Comics doing Green Lantern for a while. Maybe worked on Flash. I forget.
I agree.
Yeah, there he is. Look at. He lives out here.
Huh.
What do you think of that?
That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not bad, huh?
that looks good.
It's better than all that EC art.
Is this the first issue?
Yeah.
Uh huh.
How much is this? 3 or 4?
$5. It's a 4-part miniseries.
If you have enough, I'll take one. Put it in my stack.
Yeah.
It looks good.
This is clearly in Trump's column. 58-39 on border security, 56-42 on immigration. It is going to be
If anything, you'll like the art. So
Yeah.
some odd days to change these numbers. Trump.
As soon as I saw those trees, it looks like right where I'm moving. That's a cool image too. Yeah, I'm going to be drawing a lot of trees. We're going to be
you like
filming a
this?
lot of trees. Too, both. We'll be filming and drawing a lot of trees, I think.
Do you like this Frank Avila cover or this cover? How you doing?
I like that one, the one on the left.
What they call
I like that one too.
country, we have no idea who they are. That's the worst of all. But she allowed at least 20 million people to invade our country, and she wants to give them all citizenship and free government and raid Medicare and Social Security.
I'm listening to this record tonight.
Medicare, she will destroy Social Security.
Yeah, you got a good little haul there. Thank you, August. He says he's praying for my wife, and I really do appreciate that. And I haven't had much sleep in days. Um, I
You know what's
noticed I
crazy?
was watching a little of that stream I did last Saturday, where I went on forever because she was asleep, and I hadn't had any sleep, and I sounded drunk. I couldn't believe how slow I was talking. It's kind of embarrassing. I really seemed out of it.
A lot of the Democrats and dum-dums do that. I'm really serious. I'm being condescending. That don't understand this, okay? It's a law.
Predator versus Black Panther.
Yeah, I was just making fun of that because the little cartoon drawing on there. It's what are they thinking?
Hey, I got a trade coming in. Hold on, okay?
Sure.
Releasing vicious monsters into our communities to rape, maim, and murder our population. She endorsed the funding the police and no cash bail nationwide. She was the original no funder, and the only thing Kamala Harris can deliver is horrific inflation, massive crime, and the death of the American dream. She is in favor of the death of the American dream because everything she does really stops.
I keep checking to see if we've gone up $20. Because I want to be able to, when she wakes up, tell her, "Oh, look, all my friends donated all this," and then she's all happy and she's in a good mood. But I'm gonna tell her, "Oh, there's someone donated."
Looks like we lost Gratu for a moment. So it's just me. Who's watching? How many? Looks like 8 watchers are out there. Hope you're all having a good day and enjoying the program. We're just experiencing technical difficulties. We're just going to wait. Some of you might want to wait. Some of you might not want to wait. It's all up to you. You're in control. It's all free. You just click on the little thing, and then you don't click on the thing, and then you watch or you don't watch. It's all free programming, except for now. At this point, Gratu needs some help. He's in a situation where a little bit of additional financing would ease the pain and the stress of the current situation. So if in any way possible, if you're out there and you have an extra $10 or $20, if you could click on the GoFundMe and you could donate uh, to help Ratu out, just as he's helped you out. Thousands of hours of entertainment on YouTube for decades now here on the Gratu Orloff network. Um, I remember back when he first took over from Jack Parr, those were turbulent times too. And a lot of people didn't think that Gratu would be a right fit, but Jack walked out. And so Gratu had to slip in and take over. And he's been here with you, with us, entertaining since I guess he was 3 or 4 years old when he first started entertaining at this level. Um, Creating on multidisciplinary artists, Gratu Orloff. He writes, he paints, he performs, he teaches, he instructs. Um, so it's time for you to reach back. He's been reaching out to you, and you've been clicking on the thumbnails, and you've welcomed him into your living room, and now he just needs a little help. So I hope that you'll find that there's a, a, a cockle or a cackle in your heart, or something with a, a shekel in your heart that you can spare for for the old Gratu Orloff and the Gratu Orloff network. It would be a huge help to all of us. And here he is. He's back just in time.
My phone died. What's going on? Oh wait, someone's trying to come in. Maybe not. What? What people are talking here? Oh no, that's. Oh, it's old comments. These are. I'm seeing old comments from the beginning of the show. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Uh, Still listening. Was doing dishes and taking out trash while the dough rises. Boy, that sounds delicious. Um, let's see. Okay. Uh, anyway, I was just, if anyone could help out, the links in the chat. This may be. Well, I don't know. This could be the last show I do. I don't know if I can justify it, man. Uh, I'm still come on other people's shows, but maybe. I know you helped out Great Legend. I appreciate it. I know you're anonymous, but we figured out that was you, and that was a real blessing to us. I sure do appreciate it. I mean, I'll still do the show, but I can't. Not while my wife's feeling this way. You know, when she gets better, you know, I can start doing shows again. It's really just kind of embarrassing for me to come on and do shows while she's not feeling well. Uh, uh, I just it's yeah. I guess the you know, what am I gonna do? What else is going on? Oh, Kevin's doing a trade. Great Legend says, "Love you, Gratu. You, Myra, and Kevin are great. Love the hotel. Dude, Dr. Fibes is cool too. Love the guys like me. We got gray hairs and wisdom. Amen." Yeah, there's not many on YouTube right now that are older. Um, I haven't seen Dr. Fibes in a while. Um, yeah. What are you putting on the pizza, Great Legend? I saw an ad from the 50s where they're advertising that you could make a baked bean pizza where you could put beans from a can and cover the pizza with that.
That sounds terrible. Sounds awful.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I don't think I put that on Instagram. I saved the picture. I don't think I put it on Instagram. I just
You remember how good that pizza was in elementary school? It was square shaped and was wrapped in that really thin foil. You know what I'm talking about? Remember that pizza? It was
yeah, I remember
delicious.
square. I remember rectangle shaped pizza.
Yeah, it was this. Maybe it was rectangle. It was really soft, really doughy, really moist, and it came packaged in this foil. Right? It was like really thin foil, though. That was delicious pizza.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
School cafeterias were pretty good, man,
Yeah,
in, in the
yeah,
olden times. In the olden times.
yeah,
Not so good in high school. So high school was more disappointing because it was just such an open free for all where I went to high school. There was so many choices, so you weren't really relying on what the lunch ladies were serving because there was all this other stuff that you could get.
yeah, yeah. Well, there you could also where I was at. You could walk just a
Yeah,
few feet, and there was a Taco Bell and a Dairy
yeah. I went to
Queen.
McDonald's. There was a McDonald's right next to our high school. You just had to walk through the woods like a path right to the parking lot. It
Great
was
Legend says, I have homemade sauce that I started with a puree. Normally use crushed tomatoes, but I have to use up turkey pepperoni, and I'll put that directly on the sauce, then cover with cheese. I call it a turkey melt. Oh, it's better than a turkey me.
okay.
Let's see. I thought someone was trying to come in. Maybe not. Yeah, so I told Cleo, why don't we just go to the doctor today? And she says, we'll just add another bill. But she can't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she already knows what the problem is, and it's multiple problems. It's just, but there's different solutions for what she's going through, and the question is, which solution's the best one? Um, and yeah, I just wondered, should I just talk to my friends on the phone and instead of doing a show? Because it seemed like the friends that come on the show or I can talk to them on the phone or on a conference call. But doing these shows is starting to, I don't want to do a show and ignore my wife while she's in this much pain. And I thought, okay. Imp says steak, rear, mashed potatoes, and cream spinach. Man, don't. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to eat out for a while. With all and I thought we could get some wonderful donations tonight and things would be better, but it's we got $20 and I appreciate that. But, it's, I don't know. I guess got to look at other things I could maybe do. Could do fine if the economy hadn't crashed. Oh wow! I show you this before. This record of my father's airborne salute.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
I was talking to you when I first met you about this record. I don't have the record's not in the sleeve. I still have the record, but it's just not in the sleeve because the sleeve's the record falls out of it. But this is some record he must have been given in jump school. It's the United
Can you see what the
States
tracks
Military
are?
Academy. I'm sorry.
What I was going to say, can you see what the tracks are that are on? Go ahead, keep reading
Yes,
it.
it's the United States Military Academy Band and Cadet Glee Club plays and sings Airborne Suite Salute. I wonder if it's on um, YouTube where you could just listen to the record. The songs are um, the the 18th Airborne Corps March,
Yeah,
Beautiful Streamer, which is a really gory song,
yeah.
Down from Heaven, The All American Soldier, Screaming Eagles. That's a really cool. That would have been a perfect song for like a Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos movie or something. Screaming Eagles, March of the New Infantry, Blood on the Risers.
Uh-huh.
No, Blood on the Risers is the one I was talking about. Beautiful Streamers more just a silly a song where the guy's singing to his parachute. It's not, or he's hoping it'll open.
Yeah.
And the Blood on the Risers is the horrifying one. And
Yeah, it's
then
like glory, glory, hallelujah. Gory,
yeah,
gory, whatever, the way to die.
yeah, and the army goes rolling along instead of the caissons go rolling along.
Right.
Yeah, but this has always been in the house since I was born. From before I was born. Yeah.
That's great. I haven't seen that. That's really cool piece. I
It's
need to look
it's
at it.
not full album size. It's like a sort of EP sized.
Oh, okay.
And uh, yeah, I ought to look that up on YouTube and see if Airborne Salute, and it's the United States Military Academy Band and Cadet Glee Club. But that Screaming Eagles song, that's a great song. Is the Screaming Eagles, is exclusively an airborne song or just an army song or
It's the 101st Airborne Division is the Screaming Eagles. I don't know that song. That's the 101st.
oh, it's like it's got a chorus. We have a rendezvous with destiny. It's great.
No, I don't know that one because I wasn't in the 101st. I was in the 82nd, the rival. Those are two different rival airborne divisions, the only two. major big airborne divisions. So the 101st and the 82nd, and they hate each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me look and see if it's on YouTube.
It's like the song that the enemy sings. Even though I know that sounds crazy, but there's a big rivalry between the 101st and the 82nd. I don't know their songs. I've never been to Fort Campbell.
Oh, here it is. This is the same version. I don't know if I can play songs. Well, I'll send you the link to what I just found on YouTube
Yeah,
later.
yeah, sure.
I was kind of wanting to see. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
I had gone off the screen and was looking at YouTube on another window.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go. I'm gonna eat I'm cooking
Yeah,
right now.
I've got to eat too. I was just kind of hoping to see what he was getting in trade, but he's not even on anymore. So yeah, let's both end, and because all I'm doing is just getting all maudlin and depressed. So I might as well go get something to eat and maybe cook something for her when she wakes up. But I'll talk to you real soon. Maybe call me later on or something.
All right, we'll talk
All
to you
right,
later.
take care. Bye.
Take